All right then. I just came off the track this morning, got in here, cleaned myself up, and started thinking about something that I was having a conversation on the phone with someone and talking to, listen to me, and talking about and thinking about on something that I saw on yesterday when a young man was uh, sharing on a video that I was watching on how he was trusting a young man that was his friend, and he went to meet him before he was getting ready to go sign a contract. He's 21 years old, and was going to sign this contract for music, and he received a call to meet this young man that was supposed to be his friend. But instead of the young man being his friend, actually he set him up to get shot. And needless to say, he's a double amputee right now and will be for the rest of his life. But he lived and fought through the consequences and had to learn how to live a life still in his music, and being a double amputee. So I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about this conversation that I was having, and I was sharing with this person about starving your enemy out. You got to starve your enemy out. There are people who you see every day, and you call them friend, and they will do things to work against you. But you know what? God never leaves you in the dark. He gives you signs when these type things start happening of people who are saying that they with you, but they really not with you. But you see, God already know about that, right? But we live in a real world where these things happen more often than we care to share or to believe. That your enemy can sit at the same table with you. Your enemy can be raised up with you. Your enemy can be calling you friend, but they really not. So you have to starve out your enemy, because listen here, I'm going to say this real slow because I think we need to get this. This is what came into my mind. Real isn't real until it's really real. Real isn't really real until it really gets real. What I mean by that, you can be thinking some things can be popping in your head. You can be seeing signs of your enemy that's doing things that's out of character. You can even see people's personality and demeanor towards you change. You have to take heed to that. You cannot just ignore something because you call this person friend. When I was looking at that video yesterday, and I could see how heartbroken the young man said he was when he found out that his own friend set him up. See, his real really got real. Because all those signs, he said he saw the signs, but he ignored them because he called him friend. There are some people who you are surrounded by. That's why you got to ask God to lead the people into your life that should be in your life. Because you picking friends off the surface. People will switch up on you. People will do things to you that you could never imagine in a million years. And if you think that real can't get real, think about Jesus and Judas. Real can really get real. And it's not real until it really gets real. But see, Jesus knew that he was going to be betrayed. See, a lot of us, we don't know we're going to be betrayed. You know why we don't know? Because we're not paying attention. When things start showing up in your life, you know you start seeing things. You know when you start seeing things. You know when you can't really trust certain people like you used to think you could trust them. Because you know in your mind that I wonder, this is what you ask yourself, I wonder if they'll really betray me when I really need them. Because I saw them do such and such like that. Because there's someone that you know would do another person some harm, that you know that person never did anything to hurt them. What makes you feel like they won't do it to you? Real isn't real till it really get real. Really get real when it gets real in your life. When you're the one who's impacted by it. And when I talk about that, and I talk about how you got to, it brought to my mind as I was watching the video. See, he saw this, but he didn't know how to starve his enemy out because he was young. Like most young people, they don't see what you see as a parent. They don't see what you see as a grandparent. They trust everybody. They think everybody is really their friend. Even though you and I know sometimes your friend is not really your friend. Because God gives you signs of those who are not. Now, let me put this disclaimer out there. I'm not saying that is with everybody and everybody is not trustworthy or people not trying to be friends. There are some people in your life and there are some people in my life who are really true to the friendship, who are really true to the relationship. And there are those who are not. Because there's always a point where they're trying to create a wedge between you and others. And if somebody is always doubting you, if someone is always saying things against what you believe. See, look here, when you can't look in the mirror, and I'm quoting Michael Steele, he said, his mother told him, when you can't look in the mirror and be pleased with who you are, you might want to get out of that mirror and get yourself together. Because if you're not pleased with who you are, guess what? People are going to come along and create a you. See, I'm not pleased with Electra. There's people out there that will create an Electra. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Mark, I see you. If you are not pleased with Mark and who Mark is, someone will create a Mark for you. That's what any of us. We've got to be settled with who we are. We got to be settled. Because the enemy is always, this hair mine, the enemy is always out there trying to destroy you. And if an enemy was among Jesus, don't you know that the enemy is among you? There are people in your circle that are fighting harder to keep you down than to build you up. You can have 6 people, and out of them 6 people, one of them are going to do everything they can to try and destroy who you are. That's why it's important. Again, I'm quoting Michael Steele. For you to look in that mirror and be pleased with who you are. Because who you are is who you are. Who you are. See, if you're pleased with who you are, you'll build on you. But if it takes everybody else to define who you are, you might want to get out that mirror and get yourself together. Because real isn't real until it's really real. It's really real. That people will, certain people in your life really will try and take you down. This is things that we need to instill in young people. A lot of our young people are getting ready to go off to college. Some of them are getting ready to go into their last year of high school, like my grandson. He's going into his last year of high school. And I find myself, not that his mom and dad doesn't, but I'm grandma, and that's what we do. We just reinforce things that they're instilling in the kids. A good grandma, a good grandpa, a good mother, a good father is always trying to reinforce the things in life to empower the youth in their lives. But see, we just can't just think about those in our direct family. We got to think about those who are in the community. These young people need all of us. The statement years ago, it takes a village to raise a child. See, just one or two people can't do it. It takes all of us. So I was having this same conversation with my grandson. You got to keep your circle small. You can't have such a large circle trying to get where you're trying to get in life. Because you have so many people in your circle, you'll crowd yourself out. Let me say that again. That's the same thing. See, you had to learn it and I had to learn it. We all got to realize. And when you know things, you share these things. Don't beat young people down just because they ask you a question or just because you see them going in the wrong direction. You know what our responsibility is? Is to take the wisdom that we have and to share it with them. It's not, they just like us. They're not going to listen to everything that you say and act upon it right then. But down the line, they're going to tell you, I heard you when you said that. Or you will even hear them saying some of the things that you said. And you will say to yourself, oh, he was listening to me. Oh, she was listening to me. They do be listening. They just not at that point where we are. See, there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom, right? Knowledge only means you know something. See, they know something. They know what you are saying is true, right? Because they hear you saying it. But wisdom is what we have. And they haven't gotten this yet, but we are wise enough to apply what we know. That's the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge, you just know. Wisdom, you are wise enough to apply what you know. And you have to pray that they get to that point. They're not going to get there overnight. And that's one of the things that I always put a precursor there when I'm talking to my grandson. I say, it's just like your mom said. It's just like your dad said. I don't go against what they say, what they are teaching him. I reinforce it. Because I know that at the end of the day, they know what's best for him. And that's with you and with me and with everybody else. We as the elder, because we moving forward in life, we're getting older. But the thing of it is, we are to teach them. Not holler and scream and get mad and say, boy, get out of my face. Girl, get out of my face. Teach them. Just like somebody had to teach you. They have to be taught to keep their circle small. But you can't just say it to them. You have to explain to them why you are saying that. Keep your circle small. You got to say it more than one time. You got to let them know. You got to starve your enemy out. See, that's one thing. My granddaughter, she's 11, and my grandson, he's 17. But when I say something, they ask questions, and that's what I want. I like opening up dialogue with them. Leaving Nothing unturned, no stones unturned. Let's turn that thing over and talk about it. See, that's the thing that's going on in our society, our communities today. Nobody's talking to anybody. We just hollering, screaming, and ignoring. And that gets you nowhere. That gets you nowhere. You have to be flexible. That means you got to be not only willing to listen, you got to be willing sometimes to change up a strategy. If you can't approach your loved ones, especially our young people, because they stay on my heart. And I'm talking about all young people. You know why? Young people are looking for answers. It's just the way that you communicate with them. When you hollering and screaming, they gonna shut down. So you telling them, hey, you keep hanging with little Johnny, you gonna get in trouble. See, you got to explain to them why you saying this. You know why? Because we live in a no-nonsense type world. You can't just go around doing whatever you want to do and not have to suffer some consequences. Kids have to know that. Young people have to know that. Every time one of my grandkids get ready to go to another grade, I explain to them. I ask them, how are you feeling about that? What do you think about that? What are you looking for? But I also tell them, you're growing up. You're only going to be a child once. But once you become an adult, you'll be an adult the rest of your life. And you got to put away some childish ways. You can't act like you used to act because you're not going to be able to get away with what you get away with now. This is what we need to tell these young people getting ready to enter college. You are looked at as an adult now. See, that instructor don't see you as a child within the community. That professor sees you as an adult when you go in that college setting. Ask them some questions and let them know that you are open. And also let them know this. I know because I work in the college system. I've been working in the college system for 20 years. So I'm not telling you something that I don't know about. I talk about what I know about. What I don't know about, I tell you, I don't know. But I will research it because I love researching. Let me tell you something. Kids only know what you tell them, what you exhibit in front of them. See, you can't just give them the talk and they can't see the walk. And that's with all of us. With what they see, they're going to mimic that. But these kids going off to college, you tell them, y'all take note of what I'm about to say here because it's really real. Don't you know that everybody going to college is not there to go to school? You got to talk to them about sex trafficking on college campuses. That could happen. It could be people coming on campus. It could be somebody there that's influencing somebody else to help them. You got to talk to these kids. Talk to them about different religious groups that they might, the possibility of getting caught up in, like cults, okay? That's out there. That's real. Talk to them about people that could be coming on campuses to talk to them about drugs and getting them into the drug scenes and stuff. Talk to them. I'm telling you, I know. I've been working in the college system for 20 years, and I can tell you, everybody is not there to go to school. Be real with these young people. Be real with them. They living in a real world now. And guess what? It's about to get real. Talk to them about the importance of staying focused. Talk to them about the importance of when they see some signs of people doing some things that just don't look right. It's about to get real. So talk to them about when real starts getting real. How they got to start starving out some of their enemies. See, they don't know how to starve out their enemies. But you got to tell them. Tell you what I told my grandson. How you starve out your enemy. It don't matter what they do. If they send you a text, don't respond. Even if they right there face to face and you know that that's your enemy, you hear what they say, but you always got something else more important to do. You don't go to functions with your enemy because you will end up Just like that young man that I watched that video on yesterday. A double amputee behind a friend that was really jealous of him, and he didn't even know it. He set him up. And there are people in your life who will set you up for failure, to be hurt. Take life like it really is. It's too many people out here playing with life. Just playing. This thing is getting real. Really real. And if you don't know how to starve out your enemy, you're going to find yourself in a situation and you're going to wonder, how in the world did I end up here? Something my late husband told me. He said, you know what? When life gets really weird, really, really real, that's when you're going to really see who really with you. Because you can have 1 million people around you, and ain't but 1 or 2 of them going to really be with you. That's right. And my husband was a pastor for over 32 plus years. It get really real. He said, even in ministry, everybody not with you. But when you have God with you, he revealed them to you. And y'all, it's getting real out here. That young man isn't the only one that has happened to. Only thing is, he survived to tell the story. And it's a message to parents and grandparents and young people too. Learn how to be settled with who you are. Learn how to look in that mirror and be pleased with who you are. And if you are not pleased with who you are, you get out that mirror, go work on yourself. Because you're going to forever be stuck with you. You are not stuck with anybody else in life. The only person you stuck with is you. Understand that. And us older people, we need to start telling the younger people this. They got questions, but they're afraid to talk to us. You got to let your guards down so that they can let their guards down. Because if you're honest with yourself, you've made some errors in life. You've made some mistakes in life. You've done some stupid things in life. You made some bad choices in life. See, you got to talk about that stuff and stop trying to make young people feel like they got to be perfect. The best conversations I have with my grandkids is when I sit down and I let my guards down and I just tell them, oh, grandma did such and such thing. You know what? And they appreciate that. And it opens up dialogue. And we have good conversations about the truth. About the truth. They got enough people lying to them. You can tell them the truth. You can tell them the truth. So I wanted to come on here this morning, and I wanted to share that because that is something that was on my heart after, looking at that video yesterday. And I just wanted to put it out there because whatever happens in life, it don't just happen to one person. You keep that in mind. Whatever happens in life, what's happening with young people today happened with us too. It's just more escalated now because you have the social media. And so it's out there more. Things are out there more. Life is not just about eating and drinking and being merry. Life is about real life issues. And I'm not saying walk around with your head down. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying this is what I'm saying. life gets real. Yes, you should enjoy yourself sometimes. Yes, you should celebrate sometimes. But it's a time for that. You can't do that all the time. It's a time for celebration. And it's a time to take care of business. Just like it was a time to raise your small children. Now, see, you don't just stop being a parent because your kids getting older. You will forever be a parent. You don't turn your back on your kids just because they getting older. Don't you know? This is something my dad said. It's more crucial now that y'all are adults than when it was when you was a kid. Because now I got to tell y'all about real life. And boy, did he lay it down. He talked about everything. He talked about everything. I'm telling you, we got to get real. We got to have some real conversations. I know we all excited about kids going off to college. Have some real conversations with them, though. We excited about our young men and women going into their last year of high school. Please have some conversations with them. Please talk to them about real life. Please talk to them about the tables that's getting ready to turn. And please talk to them about having enemies in life and how to deal with them. You don't have to get in a confrontation with them. You just starve them out. You just starve them out. Okay, I'm not going to stay on here no longer. I've kept y'all long enough on this morning. That just was heavy on my heart, and I like to share. I really love sharing the things that, God puts in my mind. He keeps so much stuff in my head. And as I pour it out to you, I really pour out what he put in my heart. I don't just come on here to say something just to say it. I come on here because that's what he lays on my heart. And I have to be obedient. And I have to move on it. I really do. And I told y'all, I'm on vacation this week, but, it's really a staycation. I really needed this time to rest. I have a very demanding job. And so, it just, sometimes I get to that point of exhaustion and I have to take some time off to really take care of myself. But coming on and talking to you guys, this is something that God has blessed me to do. And so when he say move, he knows what he wants poured out and what he wants shared with people in this world that we live in. And so that's why I do what I do. I really do what I do. I really love what I do. And my thing is, I can look in the mirror and say I'm pleased with who I am. I'm pleased that out of everything God has blessed me with in my academic career, in my social career, just my community involvement, everything, in my travels, in doing street ministry with my late husband, going from state to state, meeting people, sharing with people, talking to people, watching my husband pray with people on the streets. We did this, traveling from state to state. And he watched over me as I prayed with the women. I have so much to be grateful for. It's like God saying, and I dare you to just sit down with all the blessings that I gave you, to just sit down and do nothing. And I just can't do that. I have to share. I have to pour out of me. I have to empty what he put in me. And I'm glad for my listeners. I'm glad for my viewers. I'm just glad about it. I'm glad for the voice that he gave me and the mind that he gave me to be obedient unto him. You can reach people more than one way. And that's what he has shown me. I have so much work to be done. But people have put a title on it, on where it needs to be done. And he told us to go into the hedges and the highways. How you going to do it if you don't get out there? How you going to do it? So anyways, I digress. I'm going to get off this morning, and I wish each and every one of you a wonderful day. But just keep in mind, hey, we're going to make it. We're going to keep talking. And we have a tool that nobody can take from us. That's our voices. Be heard. You deserve to. Okay? All right. Y'all have a wonderful day.